This week's episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures takes us to northwest Colorado for a late-season elk and mule deer combination hunt with professional hunting consultant and show host Steve West. The elk are moving into lowland winter range and the muleys are in full rut on this week's episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures.
I'm Steve West, professional hunting consultant, and these are my adventures.
Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Scope Coke, Stormcloth 2, Mossy Oak, DirecTV, the Montana Decoy Company, Tillamook Country Smoker, Burris Optics, and by the new Burris Eliminator Laser Scope. Just range them and eliminate them.
Welcome to this week's episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures. Today we're traveling to northwest Colorado, where I'll be hunting during the late season for migrating elk and rutting mule deer. I'll be hunting on over 120,000 acres of private lands enrolled in the Ranching for Wildlife program. I first came out in September and hunted with Travis Tritt, but ran out of time for my own hunt. So I returned in mid-November after the snow had pushed thousands of elk down out of the high country and onto the winter range. The unique thing about hunting on this vast acreage is that the elk are on the ranch 365 days a year. This outfitter hunts elk in the high timber in September and October, and then in the low country sagebrush in November and December. No matter what, the elk are always on their property, and there's never a shortage. During my hunt, we were guessing that between 2,000 and 3,000 elk were down on the winter range. In fact, one of the guides saw one valley filled with approximately 2,000 elk. I had personally requested that Colt Gray guide my hunt. He and I had hunted together briefly in September, and he was a knowledgeable and energetic guide, and he always put forth 110% effort.
We're climbing up high on a vantage point where they've been watching some bulls, seen a lot of elk. The snow's on the ground, high country's full of snow. The elk are all on the move down here into this low country. Got about a 3/4 mile hike from the truck up to this point. Get settled up, look around. Hopefully find us a bunch of big old bulls. Let's do it. Let's go.
The first morning of my hunt, Colt took me to an area of the ranch where they had been seeing several elk the day before, including several bulls. We parked the truck and began a hike over the top of a high ridge that overlooked a valley on the other side. Sure enough, it was full of elk. While we saw a lot of elk, the majority were cows and calves, and a lot of spikes. Given the number of young bulls we saw in my hunt, I would say that the local elk herd has a bright future. Finally, we spotted a branch-antlered bull feeding with several spikes below us in a draw.
This is young 5x5. We're gonna let him go. Want to get something a little better if we can. He's about average bull for Colorado. But this place has lost 6 points. I'd like to hold out for 6. And they're here. They've been seeing them. Gotta be a half dozen spikes when they're with you. I think that's how you can tell he's young. He's hanging out with the young ones.
After looking him over, I decided to pass. He was a 2.5-year-old 5x5 that most hunters would gladly shoot, but I've taken a lot of elk over the years and I really wanted to hold out for a 6x6, at least for the first few days. As we watched the 5x5 and spikes and several other elk on the ridge and valley below us, some of the elk started calling across from us. Colt and I sent a few cow calls back their way, and sure enough, 4 more bulls popped out of the oak brush.
after the break, Steve begins his stalk on a nice 6x6 bull in Colorado. We'll be right back.
Grab our gear, we're gonna watch these elk work their way down to us. Colt has a plan, that's all that matters.
Colt and I took off down an adjacent ridge while hidden from sight and got out in front of them as they worked their way down the draw. The ambush was perfect. This was the first hunt ever for the new Burris Eliminator laser scope. It was amazing. I ranged the bull at 260 yards, a red dot appeared in the reticle, and I put the red dot on the bull's shoulder.
It's 260. It's 260 yards. Last one.
Yep.
Range them and eliminate them, baby. Burris Eliminator scope. Just range them and eliminate them.
It was perfect. The bull dropped like a rock. The Eliminator scope is going to change the way we look at rifle scopes forever.
We got the bull down. We've got to cover this little ditch here. We don't have any oak brush between us and him. I'm excited. I saw the 6s on both sides, so I know I've got a 6x6. And I'm ready to go get him.
Let's go get him.
Let's get him. You want it?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know. Maybe we ought to go get some other help. We could wait. Go have some lunch, maybe. Nah, let's go get him.
Okay, let's go.
What do you think? Go get the razor?
Yeah, that'll work.
Here he is, Cole.
There he is.
By 6. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, he's got 6s. I thought that was velvet, but it's dirt. He's been sticking his head down the mud. It's kind of odd for November, but yeah, there's 6s all the way around. Sweet.
Good job.
That's what it is. It's all about right there. Awesome bull. Got set up on the packs, 260 yards, ranged him out with the new Burris Eliminator laser scope. Little red dot appeared for 260 yards. I put it on the high shoulder. That's all she said right there, folks. Dropped him right where he stood. That scope is absolutely amazing, and I can hardly wait to spend the rest of my time hunting with that. I'm going to be heading out to hopefully do a little bit of mule deer hunting tonight if the big blizzard doesn't blow in on us.
And I mean, that gun's a lot of fun to hunt with now with that laser scope on. We've got to get this bull drug off the hill about 250, 300 yards before we can get a vehicle to it. So it's going to take us a few hours. These are big, heavy animals. But I've got to tell you, if you've ever dreamed of coming out to Colorado on your own guided big game hunting adventure, take a nice bull like this, which by the way is a very solid, average sized bull for this area. Most of our clients could expect to take an elk of this caliber, I would think, and have a quality hunt with a guy like Colt, by the way. Thank you, buddy. Give our office a call. The toll-free number and website address are listed at the end of the program, and we're always available to take your calls and answer your questions and book you on a quality hunt like this.
Well, there we were, 2 hours into our first morning's hunt. We had a 6x6 bull on the ground. Not a bad way to start my hunt.
We got the bull all field dressed, and Colt went to go get the pickup, bring it down. He thinks he can park it down in there. We gotta get this bull drug off the hill. I know I'm dressed like a big old mushy pumpkin, but inside, all oak, baby. So, I don't know if I can get 500 pounds of elk off this hill by myself, but I'm gonna get it part of the way. Always helps me downhill on the snow.
With his elk tag filled, Steve will begin his quest for a big muley right after the break.